You're listening to The Dollop on the All Things Comedy Network. This is an American history podcast where each week I, Dave Anthony, read a story from American history to a goober.
Gareth Reynolds, not a goober, who has no idea what the topic is going to be about.
All right. Is this so I forgot to bring a story.
I don't have a story. What do you mean?
You don't just have an extra one?
I mean, something happened to me on the way here that was fun.
I think we need more than that.
Not necessarily. Should we try it?
You guys, I have fantastic news for you.
Who are you?
I'm Mike Bridenstine.
Michael Bridenstine?
Yeah.
Where have you
he
been?
just did the pastimes.
You were on the past
Do
time.
you guys remember me from the past time?
Yeah.
We had a good time.
Yeah, I
And
guess. I don't know.
I heard you guys might not have a story this week.
How did you know that?
We're in the middle of figuring it out, Mike, so we don't need you to...
No.
Yeah, it's a weird thing to rub
I have
in.
a solution to the problem.
Mike, we're actually in the middle of kind of figuring...
Yeah. Go ahead and figure it out for a little bit. Come back to me when you need something.
I don't know if we have any.
Yeah, go ahead. What were you going to
Yeah, I have a story this week.
Oh!
How do you have a story?
I have a story this week.
You're going to read it to Dave and I?
Yeah, I guess that was... We should do that. I'll read it to you guys for a change.
Okay,
That's
do the
That's
intro.
fascinating.
You start it then.
Okay. So this week, Mike Bridenstine...
Well, no, you got to be like, welcome to the Dollop.
Welcome to the Dollop.
Don't do it into the camera.
I want to welcome you guys to the Dollop.
Okay.
Have you been welcomed?
No, never.
I mean,
No.
Every week. Usually something else happens.
Yep.
But this week, Mike Bridenstine, read a story from history to you, Dave and Gareth.
we have no idea what the topic is going to be about.
Yeah.
And this is from your book.
This is from my book, Kansas City Comedy.
Oh,
Where can
great
people
to-
get Kansas City
They
comedy?
can go to the internet on the bad places owned by the bad people.
Listen, we're all working with the bad people.
I'll have to work with the bads.
You wrote this,
I wrote this book.
and you kind of soft pitched it to us on a
Yes.
pastimes, and we
Yes.
said to you, if you ever want to come in and read this, walk us through this, go ahead. So let's do a dollop.
Okay. This is
There's more than one story I had. There were definitely more than one story I could have picked here. It's
From his book.
This one is
Okay.
This is probably the 4 craziest stand-up stories I've ever heard.
Yeah.
And this one you're about to hear, I believe to be the craziest thing I've ever heard in
I would agree
stand-up
with
comedy.
I would also but I would also say it is the best written feel of a open mic that I've ever read by far.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
That's tough to hear. People should probably not read that, because if you could actually experience that through words, it's not great. It's a nightmare feeling.
Well, this one will make you not want to go even more to an open mic.
Yeah.
Kyle Paris made a list of all the items he'd need for his big open mic performance at Stanford's. He got a towel, dishwashing gloves, a hula hoop, his vacuum cleaner, and his trusty igloo cooler, which he'd lined with trash bags.
Gareth,
Can I ask
do you
a
have
question?
Any questions? Do you
Well,
have a
first of
question?
all, let me know when a weird thing happens. And second of all, what year are we talking?
2001.
Okay.
This is July 2001.
This is the worst thing that happened in 2001.
Do you remember these guys who would bring props to the open mics?
You know, I remember no, but I do remember one time watching a ventriloquist get ready.
This is kind of like that.
And and it was like there were like 3 people there, and I was like, ooh, and like watching him put it on his hand, I was like, I mean, what I'm doing is sad, but that's
We had a guy that would come in a lab coat and sometimes a cooler.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You always remember, it registers as trauma, so you remember the early ones. So
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Then he put on a jacket and tie with his jeans instead of dress pants and loaded all his props into his blue Dodge Caravan. On the way to the club, Paris realized he'd forgotten to buy ice for the cooler, and as he tells it, it was too late for him to go back for ice or stop anywhere else to buy it, especially now that he had roadkill to find.
Are you having any problems right now? Are there any red flags coming out for you?
I love the, I mean, He's on his way to the mic?
He's on his way to the mic.
Okay, so you'd think you'd get the road, like, where is this again?
This is in Kansas City.
Okay, so I guess roadkill, it's like likely, but I'd still think earlier in the day you'd get that done.
That's Kyle, what Kyle looks like.
Kind of looks familiar. Okay.
At the time, Paris was living in Warrensburg, Missouri, a 50-mile commute to Westport. Westport is the neighborhood in Kansas City. And on that drive, he started looking for dead animals. The first 2 times Paris pulled over were unsuccessful. One time it was a dead cat, and it was too mangled up, so I couldn't use it, Paris said. And I pulled over, and it was another dead animal. I forgot what it was, but it was too mangled up. It was in half, and I can't do that. So the third time was the charm.
Oh, fuck.
It was in half.
You imagine watching a guy look at roadkill and walk away and be like, what just happened to him? Be like, nah.
I don't know. I feel like that might happen a lot out there.
There's a Vice piece on this English guy, and he's like walking. He's like, well, the problem is you can eat a talon. You've just got to try real hard.
Yeah.
Like he's like, skunk. I've got skunk right here.
Yeah, there's definitely people that eat roadkill. That's a thing.
Yeah, I mean, look.
I mean, if it's fresh,
it's
okay,
ground.
Okay,
it's
ground beef.
If it's not fresh,
I got bad news for you, Dave. It's not fresh.
Halfway to the club, Paris found a dead possum that he deemed suitable. Although at the time he thought it was a ferret.
Easy mistake to make.
Well, when anything's run over, you're like, is that a mink?
They don't look anything alike.
No, but
they don't have the same hair.
But a ferret looks like roadkill if it was brought back to life in like a ceremony. Like ferrets, you're like, its face is intact.
Talk about the ceremony.
Yeah. You've seen Weekend at Bernie's too, right? Very similar vibe.
Regardless, he took out his dishwashing gloves, stuffed the animal into his trash line cooler, loaded it back into his van, and made his way to Stanford's for their standard pre-show meeting with all the comics.
That's crazy too.
I didn't catch that he lined it with the trash. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It's also the fact that there's a pre-show comic meeting is amazing.
Sometimes
guys, you're in the big leagues. This is an open mic.
Some clubs do that.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, they explain it. Yeah.
There's rules.
I mean, I always feel like the host walks you through.
The host does. The host usually goes up and be like,
the light. Shut up. The light. Respect. You have 1 minute.
For Andrea Kaspari, this particular night made a huge impression. Because it happened to be her first open mic in Kansas City. Before the show, according to Kaspari, 25 to 30 comedians crowded into the basement of the club so that the new comics could learn the running order and the rules. Comics get 3 minutes in the light.
Yeah.
And will come back from the room telling them when it's time to wrap it up. That sort of thing. And to the best of her recollection, Paris drew number 3 in the running order, and she drew number 5. I was trying to soak it all in, Kaspari remembered.
That is, I think that's an important detail, the order.
So, yeah, the order. It is. Yeah.
I'm one of very few women, and I see this really odd, super tall, really angular, crazy-looking guy. His hair was very poofy at the time, and he kind of had a longer nose, little weasel teeth. Let's just not. He's
like roadkill. He looked like roadkill.
Can I just say about the list? We had a really great open mic in San Francisco where the woman who ran it, Rebecca at the Holy City Zoo, she would come up with who went where, and you would know if you were doing well and ready to move on from open mics because you would get better spots. And people she thought had no hope ever, they would get the worst spots and eventually go away.
Yeah, there are good open mics.
There are.
Like there's one they do at Acme, and they always are like, it's fucking banging.
Yeah.
But it is, for the most part, it is a
nightmare.
Really, it's just so you can, it's a step up from doing material in front of the mirror.
Well, and there's a lot of people working out shit that they're never going to become comedians.
They're never going to do anything.
No.
Okay. He's a strange looking dude, and I see that he has an igloo cooler with him.
That's a very strange thing to see. What is the point of a cooler if you have no ice? He has a trash bag. At this point, like you
what's in the cooler?
The roadkill.
Okay, so that's the point of the.
But you have a trash like. There's no.
It makes sense if you think about it.
The cooler is a container for the ice. Is the advantage of the cooler.
It's going to make sense.
Okay.
The cooler was well known in the Kansas City comedy community already.
There you go.
For a long time, comedian Chris Porter said every Thanksgiving, Kyle would come in with a full turkey. His big shtick that he had a public access show, and that was his premise for every bit. We didn't have YouTube yet, Paris explained. We had public access. So in this public access themed bit, Paris would introduce himself as the host of a cooking show. And he would say that something to the effect of, every Thanksgiving, we cook turkeys for our families, but our most important family members get left out. And I'm talking about our pets. So tonight, I'm going to show you how to make a wonderful Thanksgiving turkey for your pet. And that's when Paris brought a thawed-out turkey out of his cooler, placed it on a baking tray on top of the stool, and then he would pull out a can of dog food, eat a little bit of it with his hands, and then stuff the dog food inside the raw turkey. Then he would take out the cat food and do the same thing.
Yeah.
Which grossed people out, but made some people laugh, Paris told me. That was part of the joke.
Holy shit. I mean, that's an open mic?
This is at an open mic.
I would start going to open mics again if there was a guy eating dog food.
It gets much worse.
This is the kind of shit that happened at San Francisco open mics all the time.
Oh, God.
This is like, the guy would have fit in perfectly in San Francisco.
So far, if I'm a manager, I'm like, look, he needs work. But I love the seeds. There's some elements here that this.
Now, I want to make sure that the dog food and cat food are deep enough inside the turkey that it bastes in with all the turkey juices and increases the flavor, he would tell the probably disgusted audience.
Yeah.
And then Paris, only making matters worse, would pull out a dildo. Sorry.
A dildo.
They're going to get mad I pronounced that one
friend,
wrong. Pull out a dildo and proceed to...
Is that because you can't say dildo because they'll sue you? I've got to be very careful here. My lawyer told me it has to be a dildo.
It's an Italian dildo.
It's a dildo. I put it up on my pussy. It's a dildo. Come on.
You pull out the dildo.
The dildo. Say when.
He pulled out the dildo and proceeded to push it in and out of the turkey.
I mean, so he is fucking a turkey with dog food innards?
Right. That's right. Just as you'd think it up.
The sound. That's one of those things, too. If you were there, you'd be watching it and you'd be like, I mean, the beginning was funny. This is a war crime. Like, it was funny when he ate dog food. Now I'm watching.
He was playing the whole thing deadpan as if it was a normal kitchen tool, and then he would take the dildo out of the turkey and lick it as if it were a wooden spoon.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Hell yeah.
This was an annual tradition at Stanford's for years, after all, a description of which actually made it into the Kansas City Star on August 11th, 2000.
See? It's popular.
By the way, that is 1 month to the day before 9/11. So...
1 month in a year.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Comics loved Kyle, comedian Dean Bose said, and I think Kyle's a goddamn genius. But audiences don't always get him, and certainly not in a comedy club setting. He just scared people a lot of the time.
You could definitely.
There's
so did Andy Kaufman.
There's a lot of those at open mics.
So did Andy Kaufman.
Over the years, Paris had other well-known bits involving this igloo cooler. For another off-mentioned act, he would wear nothing but women's underwear, climb a stool, and then jump into a pile of 5 or 6 pies, all of which emerged from the cooler.
Who runs the club?
Okay, so this is it's run by the Glazer brothers, who are just out-and-out criminals.
So that, but because I'm just thinking, like, as far as cleanup.
Yeah. See, that's why I think most clubs wouldn't allow this, because the cleanup of the pies, he must have put something down.
He put a tarp down.
Okay, putting a tarp down.
Even then, though, you'd be like, whoa, hey.
Yeah.
You have 5 minutes. How much of it is pie stuff?
Because this was like a restaurant, too.
Oh, my God.
Really?
But are people eating during this?
People are eating downstairs.
Downstairs, right.
Yes, okay.
Still.
I just writhed around in the pies, Paris explained, and then I got up and slipped, got up again and slipped, had chocolate hanging off my ass so it looked like a turd coming out.
So that's the comedy.
Mm-hmm.
If he brought the cooler, Porter said, you knew it was on.
Oh, I love Chris Porter watching this.
Porter was there for the big story. So, aware of this, after the pre-show meeting, Paris decided to put the cooler back in the van for the time being, and he wanted his big act to be a surprise.
Sure.
This was July in Kansas City, and it could have been over 90 degrees that day. As baseball great Ichiro Suzuki famously told Bob Costas in 2003, August in Kansas City is hotter than 2 rats fucking in a fucking wool sock. Well, in July in Kansas City is even
would be also a good roadkill replacement. It feels like he had time to get ice.
Yes.
I feel like he had time to get
I
ice.
think
He
there was
did have time to get ice.
I think people asked
I mean,
him,
it's literally at a gas station. That is a 38-second transaction if you play your cards.
I think he just didn't think about the ice.
Really?
It's a different time. Now it's all we talk about.
Yeah.
July in Kansas City is even hotter than August, and probably much hotter inside the van where there was no ice in the cooler. The show started around 8:30 p.m., so Paris had time to hide his vacuum cleaner. The vacuum cleaner was brought up earlier. On
He had
stage,
time to hide the There was time.
there's time to hide the vacuum cleaner.
No ice was a choice.
No ice is a choice. I agree. No ice is a choice.
He hid it behind the curtain before people started coming in. The size of the crowd varies wildly in people's memories. Club manager Ron Mirren's guessed around 50. With up to 30 comics on the lineup, plus the Stanford staff, it seems like 50 is a decent guess. Either way, it was an intimate club, which gave the feeling of a packed room. Wherever Paris was on the lineup, he went back out to the van to retrieve the cooler. When he opened the van, Paris remembers smelling the outside of the cooler to see if there was an odor. And since there wasn't, he assumed everything was fine and dandy, went back upstairs with the cooler in tow, and waited by the side of the stage until he was introduced.
This is like an igloo ad.
I mean, essentially, for a little while, he's been very, very slow cooking roadkill.
I think it's called braising. And it's falling off the bone.
I don't think this gets to the braising.
It's also
level.
so funny that Kansas City barbecue, it's like...
Tendernizing.
Oh, you're going to let it sit in there for a little while.
I had my suit on, Paris told me. I had my cooler in my
He's
lap.
really into this suit.
I want people to picture it. And the hula hoop. And I had my
By the way, the hula, we've all forgotten about the hula hoop now. We've really been focused
There's so many moving parts.
on the tomb.
And I had my gloves on top of the cooler.
Sure.
The host was a friend of mine named Dean Bose. And I remember he announced me like, oh, ladies and gentlemen, comics in the back. Guess what? Kyle Paris has a cooler.
Everybody gets excited.
Comics in the back is
It's about to get
It's
weird.
the audience outside of the audience.
Yes. Those are the
There
people
to make you feel terrible or there to... I mean, that was what Brody was very... Like comics in the back would watch Brody Stevens be like, I don't care what their reaction was. It was like a gift to you to watch people watch someone as well.
Yeah, this guy is playing to the back of the room. That's 100%.
I don't know who he's playing. I think everybody it's tiered reaction. It's like the first time you do comedy in a theater, you're like, it's traveling. Yeah. Like he was probably like, I'm getting gasps, and then people are pissing their pants.
Uh-huh.
After the introduction, an extremely nervous Paris walked on stage and laid the towel down over the stool. I said, hey, I'm Kyle Paris. I'm an animal trainer, and I got a ferret with me. And we're going to do some tricks for you.
We're going to do some tricks for you, Gareth. That's the key.
Comedian and witness Amy Clark remembers Paris referring to his animal as Mr. Jingles. That's when Paris first opened the airtight cooler and was knocked back not only by the pungent stench of death it released, but also by the heat coming off of the decomposing possum.
Oh
It was
Mr. Jingles.
I mean, someone can explain this. I probably should have looked this up, but it had cranked up the decomposition because of the heat. So it was like, it was like fast decomposing because of the.
Yeah,
it's a fast forward button.
Yeah.
And it's also
slow cremation, really.
Well, it's also sealed, so it's not getting air.
Yeah,
so it's like
really gunking up in there. It's like I mean, you know, it's like when someone takes a shit and then they like close the door and you're like, your plan is flawed. You've really created a mausoleum of stink for some reason. You're like, was no window? You're like, how does it work? You're like, not like this.
I can tell you've been traveling with Luke.
I was going to say Luke's move at times. I'm like, walk me through the pitch here. That it lives longer, not a win.
I opened it up and the heat in that place went up like 10 degrees. I'm not even kidding, Paris said.
I didn't know that decomposing things gave off heat. I mean, I guess it makes sense.
Well, you know what? You've taken it from Earth to a container. Yeah. So you are going to we're finally learning. This thing was probably days old.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So.
And then there was the stench. but I'm a professional. I'm going to go through with this.
He started the bit.
He's on stage.
He started.
You can't go like, never mind. You guys been to DMV lately?
Put it back in and close it.
Why do they stop at D at the DMV? Isn't that weird?
Dating is hard.
Dating's weird. You ever been on a blind date? I went on a blind date with a deaf lady. What's in the cooler? It doesn't matter. It does not matter.
You guys don't want to know.
We are not talking about the cooler any longer.
Paris was not the only person suffering.
What do they got in the back of Target? What is that, like a magical jungle? They're going to go in back and find the shoe?
The front row began covering their mouths and noses, reacting audibly in disgust to whatever the fuck was in that cooler. Paris said he could see their eyes watering within
like Hell
seconds.
Gallagher.
It is Hell Gallagher. Gareth, I need you to think of something right now. What's part of this equation that he hasn't used yet?
The hula hoop. The hula hoop is...
He hasn't used the hula hoop.
He hasn't been. I am
right. That, but
the roadkill.
The vacuum.
The vacuum. It's funny because in my head I assumed the vacuum was there for post show.
Uh-oh.
And that's when he reached in, retrieved the body of the dead animal, and set it on the stool. By this point, the stink had hit the second row, he told me.
I can't believe he could get through that. Like,
yeah. Well, he's got experience.
I know, but you're still probably gagging from the, like, you're right next to.
This truly, it is for maybe 3 people in the audience and for the other comics. I mean,
yeah.
Tom Becca said when he picked it up, there was juices and shit that drained on the floor.
So it wasn't that old.
Well, I think the container helps you.
The container definitely
it's recomposing.
It's like it's been crock potting.
Chris Porter was at a table in the back of the room with other comedians when the possum was revealed. We're in the back going, is that real? He told me. But then the people in the front row immediately started to vacate, and then we saw people get up. We were like, probably real.
Oh, my God.
And then you see the blood drip from the mouth of this fucking dead possum, and we're all in the back like, oh, it's real.
Oh. He is just testing the balance. He's like, what can I not do at this club?
Yeah.
At this room above a restaurant.
Going along with the bit as written, Paris exclaimed, oh my God, my ferret is choking. And then he retrieved the hidden vacuum cleaner from behind the curtain.
Oh my God.
And I want to say, no matter how many times I've heard or thought about this story, the fact that he used a vacuum cleaner at all for the next part of the performance will forever boggle my mind.
Yeah. I mean,
seriously.
Honestly.
He pulls out this vacuum, Porter said, shoves the nozzle down the gullet of the beast, and flips the thing on.
Oh.
A lot of people don't know this, Porter continued. When a vacuum sucks, it also blows out somewhere. So the odor from within this rotting animal is now being expelled at 110 volts through the entire comedy club.
Oh, my God.
Like...
You ever heard that story? Will Ferrell, when he auditioned for SNL and he kept meeting with Lorne Michaels.
Did he do this?
No. He had a briefcase with a fake $1 million in it, and he kept thinking at one point he was going to like put it on Lorne Michaels' desk as like a fake bribe. And I think he brought it into 2 meetings with him, and he was like, nah, I'm reading the room.
Yeah.
He just would walk out with the brief. So Lorne Michaels, like, he's showing up with a briefcase. It's weird. But it was better than putting it on the table and having Lorne Michaels be like, this bit bombed. So he never, that's the vacuum in this story. The vacuum it's there. People are vacating. You don't need the vacuum.
Yeah. The vacuum. We've already gone past a step too far, but the vacuum is
you audible on the vacuum. You go, I brought it. I'm not using it.
Yeah.
I'm in a weird zone. That thing stunk more than I expected.
Yeah.
Immediately, Bo said, a cloud of stench explodes out of this thing and wafts through the comedy club. Brendan McGowan has said it's not unlike the Ark of the Covenant being opened in Raiders of the Lost Ark and the sounds of the conquered begin killing Nazis. All of our orifices were being filled with dead possum bloat, Clark said. Stanford and Sons was like a firebox. Up a set of stairs, only one exit. I don't think any windows, and restrooms are in the back, thank God. But there's no good air exchange in this space. It's a trapped space.
Like a lot of comedy clubs are. Like there is.
Well, that's part of the reason you want to be in a basement.
Yeah, so it's like
you need to be trapped.
It's the worst place to release a noxious cloud of dead animals.
It is. I mean, this is like the opposite of what the Ghostbusters do.
And once it hit them, all hell broke loose. Some people couldn't breathe and were coughing, comedian Tim Gaither said. People started running to the bathroom, Perrick said, yelling, "Oh my fucking God." We ran out like there was a fire, Porter agreed. Tables literally were lifted and flipped, Clark said.
I mean, it is full pandemonium. Yeah. They have fully, yes.
Yeah, it's like someone pulled out a gun.
Yeah, it is. It's like people are fleeing the scene. A gun has gone off.
I ran to the green room, Emery said. We barricaded it so people couldn't come through and let the smell in.
That's the move I get. I would absolutely barricade the back door.
Everyone is freaking out, Kaspari said. People are running. Half the place clears out. They either leave or go vomit in the toilets.
Ugh.
There's at least 3 people actually sick, Johnny O said.
So I'm betting.
Then the light goes on.
Yeah, 2 minutes.
You have 30 left.
Have you ever that when you get hit by a smell so bad that it feels like it's stuck on you? Have you ever had that where you're just
when we had the person on our Patreon, our buddy Luke will eat things that people send in.
Okay.
And sometimes they vary. It's very strange. And we don't know how we got here. But one woman sent in stinky tofu, I think from China.
Yeah.
And we were like, whatever. And we had to pull over and like leave the window. It was.
Well, he took it out of the box and we were already like, he hadn't opened it up. He hadn't opened up the container yet. And we were just like,
and then he was eating it.
When he opened it, I almost threw up.
It was crazy. And we pulled over and we like left the doors open for 15 minutes before we felt okay. So yes, that would be the only time.
Yeah.
But even then, that
still wasn't as bad as what I'm talking about.
That's not rotting.
Yeah, it really feels like it's stuck on you and you can't get rid of it.
Yeah, in a good way.
No, I don't think you know.
At least 3 people were sick, Johnny O said. About 3 rows back, there was a pregnant woman, Bo said. She gets a face full of stench, runs to the restroom, puking so loudly we can hear her.
But that could have just been morning sickness.
they do be puking.
The baby came out of her. Does anyone have a cooler?
Is that how doctors induce labor?
There you go, ma'am. It's like smelling salts. Welcome back. It's a girl.
And this is some distance away. Everybody else is running out of the club. Kansas City might be a fun time to mention now, is also known as the City of Fountains. Just thought I'd throw in that fact.
No, it isn't. To whom?
It's one of their many nicknames.
Here we are, Chiefs, Broncos in a head-to-head matchup. Let's see how the Broncos move from Mile High to the City of Fountains. Huh? City known for their fountains. Before we go to commercial, let's just show 2 of those fountains.
Whenever I think of Kansas City, I think
beautiful fountains.
Barbecue and fountains.
A lot of fountains.
Nothing
here.
like getting your barbecue and heading down to the fountains.
That's where people go to wash their sticky hands off in the City of Fountains.
The pregnant woman said she didn't go back to another comedy show until Nate Bargatze came to the City of Fountains in 2024.
Different vibe.
2020. She stayed away for
23 years.
20.
How fucking if we could Truman show her life just to get to Nate Bargatze and be like, it's very important that you throw this possum on the stage. We're trying to ruin this woman's life.
The club's manager, Ron Mirans, told me that he hated open mic night anyway, and he was in his office when he heard the commotion. I just started hearing screaming, he told me, and I heard a table get knocked over. And in the time it takes to get out of my chair and jump up to see what's going on, you could already smell this dead possum going through my comedy club.
The fact that this has ended up in a book. I mean, like, this guy just was like, I've got an idea. And he's created an evening to remember. The manager's like, I'll never forget it.
This is why if you're an open micer, you need to have an open micer friend and you need to talk to each other about what you're planning.
Here's
to
what I
do.
was thinking.
Yeah.
Because I can't tell you how many times, because I had Ray James, comedian in San Francisco. He has something in a bag before a show. And I'm like, what do you have? And he's just like, he was disturbed. And he finally admits that he has a dead cat. And I'm like, and he's like, I'm going to pull it out on stage. And I'm like, no, you're not. And we were just like, dude, that's insane. No one's going to enjoy that. He just found a dead cat on the fucking street.
I can't believe that there were multiple people who were like, I got it.
Yeah. And then he ended up, and so we talked him out of bringing it up on stage. So then he's like, I got to do something funny with it. And we're like, no, you don't.
Well, what am I going to do? Just let life exist?
He put it in a newspaper box.
He did. So this guy, Kyle Paris, told comedian Emery he was going to do
He
this.
did.
So, and Emery had faked being in a wheelchair for 2 years.
Yeah.
And Emery's like, don't fucking do this. You're out of your
he did?
mind.
That's another
Yeah.
story in your book.
Yes.
So
Because that's the one I remember you talking about.
Yes.
So he had one. He was told not to do it.
By
So
Emery.
a guy who pretended to be in a wheelchair for 2 years and at his special.
Well, he was doing that. He
stood up
and got, and then he stood up.
Yeah.
He was
to reveal
after
this
2
guy
years.
who faked.
But he didn't just fake it for no reason. It was a comedy experiment.
Yeah.
Showing how crowds would react to someone in.
Because he was getting a lot of standing ovations
Yes.
that he was not getting as like a stand-up.
Yes. That guy was like, no.
Yes. Yeah.
Do not do that.
He goes, you're fucking crazy. That's what he said.
The guy who faked being in a wheelchair for 2 years
Was like, no.
Not just to the audience, to all the other comedians too.
No. Yeah, that would be, I mean, really, it's just, it's like Trump being like, that's disgusting.
Gareth, the Dollop is brought to you by Square. I did that really long. What is Square, you ask, Gareth? Because you're just a little scared, confused boy. The easy way for business owners to make payments, book appointments, manage staff, and keep everything running in one place. It doesn't matter if you're selling lattes, if you're cutting hair, or detailing cars,
What if I cut lattes?
or you're running your own design studio.
What if I detail designs?
Square helps you run your business without running yourself into the ground. That's what we're talking about.
What if I'm cutting details?
Well, you can do that too with Square. You can do it all. But again, that's not a thing. That's not a business. We're talking about actual businesses. Right now, at this moment, our listeners can get up to $200 off Square hardware when you sign up at square.com/go/dollop. That's SQUAREDOTCOM/SLASHGOSLASHDOLLOP. You know what? I got to say something right now. I feel like the ad agency ran this through AI.
What makes you say that?
Visit Square to get started because the right tools make all the difference. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
You and I have used Square in the past.
You Square on the road.
Square's been around for a long time, and Square has always made things super easy. I remember when it came many years ago, and we were like, "This is awesome," and we were using it.
Oh God, it
right
was
there at
crazy.
the table. Yeah, it was really great. You still use Square sometimes, right? When you're on the road.
Yep.
Yeah. It just makes everything super easy. You can
Yeah.
manage your day to day with less stress. With Square, you can track sales, manage inventory, access reports in real time, whether you're in your shop or on the go or running through things solo. You can take payments, get paid easily, like we were just talking about. It's just easy to use. One of the things that I noticed about Square was that it's just so easy. You run a business.
It's a Square too.
There's a lot of moving parts when you're running a bit. It is. And Square simplifies everything. Hardware looks polished, fits right into your space without feeling intrusive. And the software is very straightforward, intuitive. You don't need like crazy special training. You can just set it up.
And if you do, talk to me. I can really walk you through a lot of that stuff. I'm your Square guy.
I just said I know how to use it. So.
But if you need extra help, I'd love to have a dinner. It makes the dinner a write-off. Let's just get together. I'll teach you some stuff.
Well, let's do this. If I have dinner with you, I'm going to charge you $500, and that will run the payment.
I'm offering you a service, and you'll pay me for the service, or I'll give it to you for free. But I'd like to do it over some dinner.
My service to you is allowing you to eat with me. That's the service I'm providing. And then $500 is what you owe me. And we'll just run it right through Square right there. With Square, you get all the tools to run your business with none of the contracts
But I beat you
or
up.
complexity. And why wait?
$100.
Right now, you can get up to $200 off Square hardware at square.com/go/dollop. That's square.com, square.com/go/DOLLOP. Did I say that right? DOLLOP?
I think you did, but it didn't feel like it.
Yeah, right. Run your business smarter with Square. Get started today.
Okay, so this guy, so this is the manager still talking. He goes, I get to the door and Kyle's still unhooking the possum from the vacuum
What's this
cleaner.
manager like?
This manager, according to everyone, was a ticking time bomb of fury and anger.
Uh-huh.
There was a lot of drugs going through the club at the time.
Okay.
And this guy hated Kyle and open mic night with like everything in his body.
The idea that he hated Kyle already and the open mic night. And
Yeah.
Kyle's like, don't worry.
This guy goes on to open a club in Michigan, and he purposefully does not have open mic night because of Kyle.
That's so great.
Nah, you know how it works. A bunch of comics show up. One of them's got a possum, Pandemonium.
There's always a possum.
There's a baby. A pregnant woman that prematurely has a child.
But of course he doesn't like Kyle because Kyle's been coming in and fucking jumping in pies. Like,
Yes,
that's
yeah.
the comic you don't like.
Well, you missed those days after this. Weren't you doing pies?
Everyone who was telling me this story later kind of had like fond memories of it, except for this manager guy. He's still very angry.
Yeah, because everyone else has a comedian mind, and this guy's
Well, it's also the difference if it's your house. If it's your house where the thing happens, not as
true.
funny.
Yeah.
That's about the time the woman vomited right in front of Mirans. He's the manager, and he just saw red. According to Emery, Mirans was a ticking time bomb back then. Anyway, I'm not going to lie to you, Mirans told me. I'm not the biggest Kyle Paris fan in the world anyway, but I lost it. And I started screaming, I'm going to fucking kill you.
Put me in the cooler and bring me out in 4 days then.
He comes out of the back, Bose says of Marins, grabs me by the shirt and says, Dean, get him off stage. I need him out of here and tell him he's banned. Amazingly, while all this is happening, Paris was still fully committing to the bit, trying to make it work. He was just looking around like, but wait, there's more, Clark said.
It's so great because that's exactly how I would expect this to go with a guy like this. It's exactly.
I mean, you forget he's still on stage.
Yeah, and he's got to do his time.
Performing.
He hasn't gotten the light yet. You do your time.
The light person threw up.
With nobody wanting to go near the stage, the comic's time to get off the stage light was being frantically waved at Paris from the back. So Paris decided against throwing the animal against the hoop. Oh, so I talk about it earlier in the book, but he was going to throw it through the hoop like it was a trick, throw it up again and have it hit the ceiling. But he decided against that.
So there is some level of editing.
Yes, that was
The
the only
vacuum
one.
he was like, that's good to go. But he's like, I don't know if it should do tricks.
Exactly.
People might not buy it at this point.
I might be pushing it. Also, nobody's in here.
There was blood coming out of his mouth and shit, Paris told me, so I went straight to the ending. I picked up a pint glass and launched it at the fucking stage, and I missed his head by, I guess, barely a foot, Marins remembered. And I'm screaming, if I get to you, you're fucking dead. With all the chaos.
The greatest show you'll ever see.
Oh my God! Don't you wish this?
Just to be sitting in the back, be like, I hope he gets him.
I mean,
I want to see him kill him.
don't you wish there were iPhones?
It's almost worth it.
It's like the video of the guy getting hit by the guitar.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's.
I looked that guy up, too. That's hard to find. That was in...
Yeah, that is hard to find.
That was in like Louisiana. He's like,
Oh, you don't know
you
that
want
one?
to talk? And he's like, honky tonk man's him.
No.
He hits the, so it's a heckler. He hits the heckler with the guitar. And he pulls it back, and the guitar is like in half. And he's like, well, he deserved it. And this lady's like, no, he didn't.
She's like, what do you think, folks? He came at me. And there's like, that was unnecessary. And he goes, well, show's over. Because the guitar is smashed on a head. He came at me, folks. And they're like, no, he didn't.
He did not.
Oh.
That's our friend. You saw him, folks.
Oh, man. You got to be 100% when you do that. That's going to work.
With all the chaos and carnage and flip tables, broken glass, and threats of murder and actual vomit all around him, Paris said goodnight to what was left of the trapped or stampeded Stanford's crowd, and then he grabbed the late Mr. Jingle's paw and made it wave goodbye to the audience.
Because
Good for him.
Because he had thought of this bit in his fucking head for a long time.
Yeah. There's
and it
a
was
set list.
always closing
Goodbye.
with Mr. Jingles waving.
Goodbye.
And so he couldn't not do that.
Goodbye, everybody.
Even though all of this is happening,
Goodbye.
he couldn't. He committed.
Have a good night, everybody. A glass got thrown at your head, and you're like, goodbye. A glass gets thrown at your head, and you keep going.
Mr. Jingles out.
I'm going to kill you if I get my hands on you. Goodbye. Have a good night.
I have to give the
Tip your
cheerful goodbye.
servers.
Retelling that part of the story still makes Paris chuckle all these years later, but
As
not
it should.
Yeah, but not necessarily at the right part. The possum's tongue was hanging out of his mouth. He laughed. He doesn't know why it's funny. When the act was over, being as sanitary as he possibly could, all things considered, Paris dumped the dead possum corpse as well as the towel and the gloves back in the cooler and closed it up tight. The new plan was to get the cooler, its contents, and the stench out of the club as quickly as possible. But in the process, Paris moved the mic back into stand in place for the next comedian, which, I mean, the consideration and stage etiquette in that moment is also blowing my mind.
Next comedian.
He's a pro.
Next comedian.
He's a pro. You put the mic back.
The show is over.
The shithead is the guy who leaves the fucking mic there. You put
Open
the mic.
mics are over.
No, it's not.
All right. Should I bring up the next guy, or is the MC going to do it? You're going to love this next guy.
As soon as he saw me touch the mic stand, Paris said, the next comic, Tom Becca, yelled out at the top of his lungs, "What the fuck is he doing? Oh my God." And I get it, Paris said. He was not thinking straight. So I knew there was blood and germs all over and all kinds of shit on my hands. Although there wasn't. I had my gloves on, which I took off.
See?
It was literally an emergency situation.
But he didn't.
Maren said.
But Becca there is yelling, "What the fuck are you doing?" As in, you're putting the mic stand back,
Yes.
like everything's normal.
Yes.
And he thinks it's about the blood and guts, but
Yeah.
it's not about the
Probably
blood and
about
guts.
all of it. He's probably like, "Please, you've done enough." How tall is the next guy? I can adjust it so it's he can do it. Okay, whatever.
It was literally an emergency situation, Maren said. People are trying to find a way out of this comedy club by any means possible because of this. And most made it to the back entrance, which was just a back hallway to a radio station and then down to a parking garage. And that's the way Kyle decided to flee to get away from me. Paris rushed the hot cooler of death, as Clark called it, out the back of the club. People parted for me like the Red Sea, Paris remembered.
Yeah.
He went down the back stairs, across the street, through the trash bag with the animal, along with the towel and gloves, into the nearest dumpster. And then he put the cooler back in the van.
He put the
This
cooler.
Well, he's gotten a lot of mileage out of this.
I mean,
cooler.
you gotta let the cooler go at this
Yeah,
point.
no, I don't agree. I mean, you got Roadkill Moses is coming through, so let him do his thing.
The cooler was fine, Paris assured me. It
don't
wasn't all
agree.
that bad.
Yeah, no, it absolutely
Like,
was not
if he's
fun.
telling you that story, you're like, "Is that what you brought the beers in?" No. No.
Meanwhile, Maren's was still trying to find and then murder Paris. I do remember Tom Becca trying to hold me back, Maren said. I tried to chase Paris down and I'm screaming, "You are never setting fucking foot in my comedy club again." And I tried to find him on the street and I did ban him for life. I've never seen Maren's more pissed, Dean Bose said, because it created a headache for him. Like, if it got out that Stanford's had this crazy comic do this thing, the boys would not have been happy. And that would have been Craig and Jeff Glazer. They're the owners. So Ron was just trying to make sure that this didn't turn into a public relations nightmare.
Also, I would think health code.
Yeah,
It's
I
a
bet
restaurant,
health code.
so there'd be a
Yes.
health code. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't.
Yeah.
All of this probably happened in under 3 minutes.
That's what's insane.
That's awesome.
Of course it happened really fast.
That's a lesson in time. You can make time. Time travel is possible. He slowed down time.
Slowed down time. After all of this chaos, the show somehow still went on.
That's crazy.
And when I asked why on earth they would continue, everyone familiar with Stanford's reacted like I just asked the dumbest question in the world. Obviously, the checks hadn't been dropped yet, Porter explained.
Now does it make sense?
That does make sense. I just don't know how you. I mean, there's a break. That's called a forced intermission. There is.
How do you get people back in? I would pay my tab at the door. I wouldn't come back in. I'd be like, just
can I throw my card?
I think you would just be like, you guys don't have to pay. This is what you just went through.
But it sounds like the owners were not those type of guys.
No.
There were still bills that hadn't been paid, Kaspari agreed. You're so naive thinking the Glazers are going to stop. This thing could be on fire, but we're still getting checks to the tables.
Fire might not be a bad idea.
Just to burn it down?
Yeah, burn it down, cook it up a little.
After Paris' set, the staff got to working on putting things back in order. I turned the thermostat way down to try to suck all the air out that night's bartender, Keith Rainey.
I mean, another person is about to be like, okay, so...
well, that was weird.
That is the end of the roadkill. Okay, but anyway, we're going to keep the mic going. There's just 31 comics left.
And then we opened the back door, put a fan in there. But I mean, it was pretty horrendous. Ron was like, well, we got to finish the show, Bo said. And I'm up there trying to figure out how we're going to do it. And I'm joined on stage by a comic named DC Young and I believe Keith Rainey. And we're both equipped with these industrial cans of Lysol and we're just spraying everything down.
So that to me is the worst. That smell of like Lysol hiding a horrible smell is just the worst smell.
Lysol's terrible. Didn't Lysol start as like... I seriously think Lysol, I can't remember what it started as, but it's like a birth control. It's like Lysol's original premise was
birth control.
It's something fucking crazy like that.
Wow. And they're like, this smells pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Chantix. I took Chantix to help quit smoking once. They're like, this depression drug has people quit smoking. And then they were like, it's a quit smoking drug.
Wow.
But it's some weird shit like that. But it's also so terrible. Lysol is a terrible product by every metric. But even then, you'd be like, put it all over my body.
Well, it was originally created to stop the spread of cholera, but by the 1920s, the company aggressively promoted the product for varied uses, including feminine hygiene.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like
Oh
crazy. Yeah. It's like,
we're just a wow.
Yeah. And then everyone was like, excuse me, my labia has lumps. And they were like, it's for bacteria.
It's to quit smoking.
It's quit smoking. Use the Lysol to stop smoking. Okay.
About 30 minutes after Paris' set, Dean Bose was tasked with restarting the show, which he did in a hurry. I went up and I specifically said, Kyle Paris, ladies and gentlemen.
That is perfect.
And a round of applause for our Lysol gentlemen, Keith and DC. And then he brought up the next person. And there was no way that we were going to do well in that moment. It still smells like roadkill and knockoff brand Lysol as well.
Just the fuck. I was at a toll booth the other day.
Dating is hard.
Dating's so crazy. You ever done that? I went on a blind date with a deaf girl. Ever heard of that? She hadn't. Oh, fuck. Okay. Let me just go down to the closer here.
It's just this miasma that's sort of floating out there. But because Becca was a pro, he trusted him to get the room back. The
No.
So put up your big hitter.
The pro.
Not happening.
Put up your big guy.
Can you imagine?
Man, I'll tell you what, if he brought that possum out there, you could end comedy that evening. He's like, fuck it.
He's like, I'm doing it.
He had his own
I'm actually a
roadkill.
ventriloquist.
The stench is just still up there, Becca said. And I'm up there and I'm like gagging while I'm doing the damn thing. And I won't say that I killed, but I at least got them focused and laughing a little bit.
I roadkilled.
Roadkill.
Oh, look at you. Look at you.
Over time, patrons and comics started trickling back into the showroom from the downstairs bar. Paris remembers being shocked, turning to another comedian and saying, fucking nobody left. Everyone's back.
That to me is
Crazy.
the craziest thing because what is going on with that audience? Where's your self-respect?
That's crazy.
Right?
First of all, I wouldn't have left, but that's different. I would imagine most people would leave. I mean, you talk about politics now. You see like three people like, we got to get out of here.
But I guess there now is a curiosity of like, what are they going to do after that?
How do they recover?
Yeah, how do they? Yeah.
Everyone was back, that is, except for Kyle Paris. As he tried to re-enter the club, he was stopped by another comic.
For what?
Oh, because I killed?
What? Wait. What? I still have a minute on the clock.
He does, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get to
I'm
finish.
owed a minute.
I'm here to reclaim my time.
Look, I'm going to do observational stuff.
He was informed that people in the showroom had vomited, that Mirrens wanted him banned from Stanford's for life and wanted to murder him. They tell me his face was so red with anger that he probably would have beat the shit out of me, Paris said. But here's my problem. My vacuum was still on stage.
Which is no longer usable. If anything in the story can no longer be used, it is the vacuum. It is in worse shape than the cooler.
I think we got a 4-way tie. The possum, the cooler. There's a lot of stuff that died that night.
But the vacuum, here's
the thing. You tell another comic, you go,
yeah,
can you go get the vacuum?
Get the vacuum. That's all you do. Go. Hey,
well, when am I going to get my vacuum, dude? What the fuck are you talking about right now? Well, I'm not going to wait around for the show to end if I can't have my vac. Get out of here.
He's lucky the manager didn't take the vacuum and put it in his ass and turn it.
Oh, yeah. Without question.
Oh, yes, the fucking vacuum. The instrument of destruction itself was left at the scene of the crime, and so Paris decided to wait until someone could retrieve it for him. He sat alone outside on the back stairs of the club while his performance adrenaline dissipated and the reality of the situation slowly started sinking in.
So he that's kind of what one of my questions was going to be is this. It's almost like it wasn't performance art. He now is going that I fucked up.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna die on that hill mentally for a while, but then you're alone in a parking lot waiting for your possum vacuum and you're like, all right, that wasn't good.
Yeah, it's like he's sobering up because you have that little rush and it's gone. And I like,
that wasn't good.
When he'd been on stage and in the spotlight, he didn't realize that people in the audience were getting sick. As soon as I heard that, my heart sank, Paris remembered. And on top of that, now I know I'm banned for life, which I knew I deserved. You know, Kyle's a very sensitive dude, Porter said, and a very emotional guy, and he gets easily affected. So Ron screamed at him and yelled at him, and for someone like Kyle, who's such
Threw a glass at his head,
threatened to murder him. So for Kyle, such a sweet soul, I'm sure that this was devastating. I didn't really think the possum was going to stink as bad as it did, Paris explained.
It's a dead animal. Did something die in here? There's like a dead animal saying, like,
did something die? Who died in here? Why is it great? Is it hilarious and great?
That's awesome. Well, okay. Like he went from Earth open to cooler closed to room closed. So it definitely got amplified in that process, the smell. So he probably was like, look, little stink funny. Show stopped for a half hour. Oopsie.
He really, the moment that I go back to is when he went out to the car, instead of sniffing the outside, he should have cracked it.
He sniffed sniffing the outside that's like a commercial for what coolers do.
Yeah.
Possum in there. I can't even smell it. Our little secret igloo. You're right. You crack it. You fucking Tupperware it. Ooh, I can't eat that.
Because why not? Because the bit has nothing to do with smell.
The bit is that your trained animal is dead.
Yeah.
The bit is not. That pregnant woman might lose it.
I knew there might be a chance. I just didn't realize how horrible the smell was going to be. He was on the corner, like crying, Gaither said. That open mic was his whole life. And I'm like, dude, you're fine. They're not going to ban you. They say that shit all the time. The image of an emotionally shattered Kyle Paris on the back steps of Stanford's waiting for his vacuum cleaner is something that has stuck with the comics who witnessed it. After the initial version of Paris' story I heard years ago, it included a part where he looks up at someone and says, I just really thought it would work.
It's tough.
Which is probably just a comics embellishment, but it's actually seems to reflect Paris's thinking.
I could really that's what I would think he would say in that moment.
Yeah.
It'd be funny if he was like listening back to it, like, okay, so there's a couple tweaks.
They've given me a lot of notes.
There's a couple notes for sure.
He was hurt, Bo said. I mean, he did not intend to do what he did. That was clear. He was absolutely kind of broken because he knew it was going to cause him problems with the club. As Paris grew increasingly distraught on the stairs, he convinced himself that his comedy career was over. Or that he could be in trouble legally. This was still a restaurant after all.
Yeah. Yeah.
But an hour or so later, as the show was letting out, Paris could see and hear audiences members leaving Stanford's. And according to Paris, the first audience member that come outside asked, "What happened to the possum guy?"
Yeah. What did happen to the
yeah,
possum
but
guy?
not in a like, that guy deserves a one-man show. And like,
No.
is he okay?
That's where this ends. He has a one-man show that runs in Branson now.
He opens for Bargatze.
That's how they got the woman to go.
Yeah. That woman goes to see it. All right, there's just a couple openers before we bring Nate out. Oh, sweet God.
Good news, bad news on the Bargatze
How
thing.
are you?
We have a special guest tonight. It is the baby that was in the woman. When, now 20 years old.
Introduce you to my friend, Mr. Jingles.
He's still got the exact same.
Yeah,
It's a
oh my
skeleton.
God. It's just like bone
It's just
dust.
like glued together.
What is this? I guess I need to retool.
It's got a lot of work to go. When audience members saw Paris on the stairs, they started walking towards him, and much to his surprise, they weren't angry. They said, "Dude, that was awesome," Paris told me. I think they could tell how dejected I was. This was the weirdest compliment I've ever gotten in my whole 25 plus year career doing comedy. People came up to me and they said, "You made me vomit, but it was awesome."
I kind of get this.
I don't think they were doing that because he was dejected.
I don't either.
I think they earnestly. You wouldn't.
Yeah.
You would not go up to someone.
No.
Audiences don't fucking bullshit you like that.
Yeah.
They to say that. It was awesome.
They lived through the craziest experience
that was
they're ever going to have.
A traumatic event.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they're like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, like they have a story to tell.
That is a real high.
Every person in that audience is telling that story today.
Yes.
Yeah.
Some to the police.
The only guy that lit into me, Paris continued, was Tom Becca. He read me the riot act, as was his right. I get it. He came up to me and said, "What the fuck was that?" What are you fucking thinking? You are fucked in this town. Your career is fucking over.
You ain't ever going. You get out of the city of fountains.
When the show was over, a comedian finally brought Paris his vacuum. He didn't know what to say, Paris told me, before adding, "That was the longest drive home after the show."
Oh, alone.
50 miles, he said?
I bet he probably had the
miles.
fucking possum still in there.
No, he threw it out.
He
He did. Oh, that's right. Yeah, right.
When Paris got home, he disinfected the cooler and the vacuum cleaner hose as best he could. And he just
But it's not the hose. It's the
inside
it's
of
the
it.
inside, yeah.
Yeah. That thing's ruined.
Ruined.
Sad cleaning session.
And then he just kind of went
Because I actually want to see the next time he tried to clean his house. Because you know that had to happen.
Or you go outside and you let it run for like an hour, like a generator. Get that possum out of it.
And then he just kind of went on with his life. The next night, he headed back to another open mic away from Stanford's, where he was obviously the talk of the scene. I started hearing all the stories about what happened the night before, Paris said. The comics were not mad at all. They were actually laughing about it.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Like they were telling me stories like people vomited on the floor, slipped in their own vomit, which still makes me laugh.
Someday someone's going to write a book about this. I don't think so.
No way.
Then a comic goes, "Was that the first possum you saw on your way to the club?" Justin Leon remembered asking. He said, "No, I stopped at 3 different carcasses, but they weren't funny."
They weren't funny.
Paris called the club to apologize, but it didn't really help his situation with the salty GM. We had to
Do you think he had a plan for if he didn't find the right roadkill to just do a different bit?
I think he probably would have repeated a bit that he'd done before.
Yeah.
About how he went on a blind date with the devil.
Right.
He had time for ice.
He did have time for ice.
He stopped at
He
multiple.
did have time.
The
He had-
idea that he couldn't get ice.
It was a
think of the
choice.
Ice, he just was like, I don't need it.
Yes, it was a choice.
I would guess that someone's like, "Why didn't you get ice?" And like later on, he's like, "I didn't have time."
Hey,
Yes,
you know where
that's
a
right.
place that has ice? The fucking place where you're doing the show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can I get a picture of ice?
Yes. Yes.
We had to spend a few $100s trying to get the smell out, Mirrens explained. There's no windows in this place and hardly anything for ventilation. We had the worst time in the world getting that cleaned. I mean, I think they brought in a service master team and it still smelled like dead possum on Wednesday.
Oh, making that call. So we had a guy he brought a possum up on stage and then he ran a vacuum through it.
Okay, is this a open mic?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Sure. Yeah.
It took a good week or so to get out. Even Craig backed me. Craig is a crazy owner. That Paris was banned for life for that shit. Several of the comics from the scene were adamantly against the banishment. And there was a few that began pleading Paris's case to Mirrens by saying how bad Paris felt about the whole thing. I did not give a fuck, Mirrens told me. I'm going to point blank tell you, I did not care. I sat down and I told my staff and every comic down in that place, and I told them, if any one of you ever bring Kyle Paris into this club, you will never work in my club again or set foot in it. And I told my staff, if I am ever on vacation, if I ever have a day off, and I find that any of you let Kyle Paris in, you are fucking fired.
Well, that's a banning. I mean, that's how you ban. That is how you ban someone.
That is.
Nevertheless, the comics persisted. Everybody sincerely liked Kyle. But after only 6 months, Mirrens finally relented. There was no official word saying your ban is officially 6 months, Paris told me. But it just turned out I waited for about 6 months to make another attempt back. Maybe half a year is enough time to pass before the angry parties can calm down. Maybe it was the fact that, I don't know, fucking 9/11 happened just 2 months after Paris' set and probably put a few life things into perspective for everybody involved. But for whatever the reason, Paris came back to Stanford in early 2002, and he returned wearing his best joke yet. When he came back, Porter told me, it was a white T-shirt, and in marker, he'd written, "No dead possum."
Oh, my God. Oh, what a return. Holy shit. Good Lord. And then so you taught, what is his perspective? I mean, is he still doing stand-up?
He does. He lives in Chicago now. Okay. So I first heard this. I lived in Chicago when he moved there.
Okay.
And Chicago was filled with crazy people.
Sure.
And we all looked at this guy like he was the weirdest guy we'd ever seen.
Sure.
And so this woman, Amy Clark, moved at the exact same time as him and goes, "You want to hear a crazy story about this guy?"
Oh,
and we're like, "Yes." And then she told us this thing. So a lot of people were like, thought it was the greatest thing they'd ever heard.
Yeah.
Like, to me, it was just like these guys all. So I went back to Kansas City for the release.
City of Fountains.
Yeah. I had to go to City of Fountains for the release of the book. They all were celebrating it. We had him go up on stage with a little cooler and bring out a stuffed animal. And everybody was acting like it was like the greatest night of their lives.
Because we just hit 25 years of the 25th anniversary of this event.
Yes.
Fuck, man.
The only person that's still mad is Ron Mirrens, the owner. But when I told him about the no dead possums thing, I heard him on the phone laughing. And he goes, "That's the only time I've ever laughed at anything Kyle Paris has done."
That is really an amazing... Yeah. By the way, this guy would crush the social media era.
Oh my God.
That as a TikTok would be an absolute... I don't want to give him any ideas.
It's not in here because Dave crossed it out, but the last line of that chapter is this woman, Andrea Kaspari, being like, "Can you imagine if we had like phones, like to get the crowd's reaction to get it?" She goes, she's like, "You've seen Matt Rife." That's what she said.
That'd be fucking great.
And then I also took out something because there was a girl there who it was her first time at the show. She went up 2 after and she didn't bring it up.
She has a quote in there. Yeah, she's 5th and he's 3rd.
Yeah, and so she goes up and she's still mad she never addressed it. She went up, she's like, "Hi, I'm Andrea, and here's what's going on with me." But she never's like, "What the fuck was that?" or anything.
That would literally haunt me.
My mom wanted me to go to college, but I made a weird choice. I decided to get into a relationship. It feels like everybody's still thinking about the possum.
But just launches into material.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it haunt you to this day if you had never brought it up? It would haunt me to this day even though it's your first set, like I would still be like, I cannot believe I did
What's funny about them is Andrea Kaspari, still does comedy, and Kyle Paris, they are literally best friends now.
Really?
That situation kind of bonded them. They trauma bonded together. She's like, I don't know. I just wanted to kind of know what was going on with this guy. And they call each other every day. They say, I love you when they hang. She's married and they live in different cities.
Oh my God.
They're best friends. And I ate dinner with them at a barbecue place in Kansas City.
I gotta go.
You like to slow cook?
I got a funny bit. You know, this is all possum. What? Yeah. Yeah.
I tried not to think about it the whole time. I tried not to picture it.
What are some other stories that are in your book?
Well, I had the first story that the first show that I ever went to was Norm Macdonald at Hancher Auditorium in Iowa City. Mm-hmm. And it was billed as family night. I was a teenager. I went with my mother and like a bunch of kids. I had an overprotective mother, and I went with these kids from high school. And Norm walked 80% of the crowd.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Like he was doing like,
yeah.
I've done this bit so many times, like, but he goes, yeah, I used to jack off to porn more than I fucked my wife. Like, and there's like kids and like old people there. It's like, I saw this beautiful woman get fucked by a pig. And like, people were just lining out. It's like, can you imagine you gotta, director says like cut, and you see this woman at a bar and you ask her out, like she fucks pigs for a living. Yeah. Now imagine you're the pig and director says cut, you gotta go back to fucking your big fat pig wife. And like, I'm howling. Like, so that's the first stand-up show I ever saw. Uh-huh. And so I was in this book, I was trying to figure out like, what is the most infamous stand-up story? The guitar guy gets brought up. Kramer Michael Richards at the Laugh Factory. Mm-hmm. I found out my great uncle was the guy that fired Richard Pryor from the Aladdin.
God.
Oh, wow.
He died before I was born. I didn't know anything about this guy. So then there's Emery in the wheelchair. The owners of this club have they were criminals, and the guy wrote a book about like all his crimes and then tried to get a movie made out of it. And a lot of people died in the process of him trying to prove that he was a criminal. It's just, and so to me, I was like the Emery wheelchair thing, the Kyle Paris, and this also happens to be where like Sinbad started and Eddie Griffin and Nikki Glazer. And I was like, all of these are like super fun. I'll just make like a little book and then try to decide like what the most infamous stand-up story is. And
is it all Kansas City based?
3 of them were Kansas City. So I was like, I'll just do like a little history of the Kansas City thing while I'm there. And it ended up, I didn't do stand-up in Kansas City back then. I knew Porter and I knew Nikki and I knew
this
Kyle.
Is chapter 6, the possum.
Yes.
The wheelchair is chapter 5. Have we done a full episode, Dave? Do we want to hear some of the wheelchair?
Yeah, we've done. Yeah, okay. We can't do it. If we do the wheelchair, it would be a different episode. But it's
well. So and people can go find it on Satan's website.
Satan's on Satan's website. Yeah,
it's really phenomenal. And
Thank
the
you.
idea that Chris Porter was there for
Isn't that funny?
Yeah. Yeah, I can only imagine. It's also funny how well like it's funny to imagine Chris Porter
He loved the guy.
Oh, because he's a very sweet individual.
Yeah, he is,
so
yeah.
I understand him being like, look, you don't understand, but also to just be like successful comedians in the room that night being like, Jesus, bro. What are you doing right now, man?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So what do people can look up Kansas City comedy?
Kansas City comedy. Yeah. It's on the things. Porter did the foreword to it. Very nice of him to do.
Well, Mike Bridenstine, thank you very much. And this
thank you
is
for
a
having
very unique episode, but it deserves a platform. It really does. So way to go. And people can use promo code Dollop.
Yes.
No, they can't.
They probably
all right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, man. That was fucking great.